Welcome back to my channel. I'm drinking coffee out of my I want to call this my pirate mug, but it's not really necessarily piratey. It's just like, I don't know. I got this when I started to work as a babysitter or a daycare teacher for a 2-year-old classroom, and it's like my favorite thing to drink coffee out of. I just think it's cool. So today's reading, hey Sky, is what is your recent reputation? It's a pick a card. There's 3 piles. So our main themes are number 1, what's making you stick out? Number 2 is what medicine are you offering? Number 3 is how are you triggering people? Number 4 is how does your community feel about you? And then number 5 is how do your enemies feel about you? Enemies is like more of a loose term. It's more so just anybody who's not in support of you. I don't know that these enemies are like in any fixed position, like they've like committed to like opposing you for life, but some of them might, so just take that how it resonates. So we're gonna start with pile number 1, which is Sultry Saint, and I put some songs in the description below for you guys to listen to if you feel like you want to. But yeah, you guys have the Angel of Night. You been thinking about me? Cool. That kind of ties in with this like sultry saint energy, because I feel like with the Angel of Night, like you could have this like dark angel. And I channeled like maybe a couple days ago like Beautiful Nightmare. It's a Little Tracy song, I think. So I have like I already pre-shuffled, so there's like a huge stack of cards. You're at work and I'm posting. Yeah, honestly, dude, I've been just now getting back into like posting like consistently. Like, I feel like my energy was, like, blocked. I don't know why. I just feel like it was. So, I'm, like, trying my best to, like, pull myself back into autonomy where I don't feel like I'm as passive. Like, okay. So, it's hard to explain this, like, energy thing. Because before, like, especially, like, you know, sometimes when I'm, like, depressed or, like, I just feel like shit, kind of. Like, it's easier for me to be more receptive to other people's, like, interference in my energy. Like, when I feel like my best self, there's not, like, anybody or anything that can really stand in my way. But when I don't feel my best self, like, that's when people can, like, try to manipulate me more effectively. And, you know, like, people who don't want to see me making content because my content bangs, you know, that kind of a thing, that I just won't make it. Not because I'm not still, like, the best at what I do. It's just like I don't really care to do it that much. I don't have to do this work. Like, I'm in a place right now where like I'm being taken care of. So like I don't have to do this. It's just that I like to do it and I want to build this platform so that it can like self-sustain. I can make even more money. So yeah, like I want to do this, but I don't have to. So the lack of like forcing, you know, it's like it's a whole thing. But the sultry same thing, I think you're just like pulling in the attention of people, and this could be like part of the reason why I feel like I even got derailed in the beginning of this reading is because I think you could have like a derailing presence to other people, like you could exist in the lives of other people as temptation. But I also think this is like one of the traits that you probably have that attracts the most envy and like jealousy from other people, like you being a good thing, a pure thing, a light oriented thing, the kind of thing that you want to keep around, and then also being like attractive at the same time. It's like a sexy doctor energy. It's like not only do I feel like I gain from having you around, but you're also like I want to look at you kind of a thing. And then Sky's like commenting, and she used to be a secretary, so it's that kind of like, you know, I want you in the front, like I want you to represent what we have going on here because you make sense and like I also like you. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna start pulling out the cards. So what's making you stand out? We have the traumatized, number 44. I'll show you the actual picture. Affirmation, I acknowledge that I've been traumatized, but also that I am healing. I haven't figured out how I want to put these cards out yet. We have the homebody, number 40. Affirmation, I enjoy the secure base that I've made for myself and my loved ones. If you guys hear like stuff going on, 1, I have my fan on because it's hot as balls in my room. And then 2, there's like, it's trash day. So the trash is being picked up. And that kind of like, you know, makes sense with what I was saying before about like my energy being freed up, right? I've been going to church, and I noticed, like, I went to church, I did my makeup, and then I recorded like 3 or 4 readings for TikTok, and then they've been doing so well. Like, one of them got like over 100,000 views. Like, and that's like the first time I've hit that number in a while, because I haven't been active. So it's like kind of like my own fault. Like, I was kind of like, and I feel like it's fine, right? Like, I feel like that's what God wanted me to do at the time. Like, God wanted me to take the back seat and just like recoup, because shit's been going on for me that I don't even want to talk about, but like, shit's been going on. So yeah, you know, like, I needed time. So it's fine that like I wasn't doing numbers then, because I'm doing the numbers now, and I'm doing the numbers now with the support and discipline of God to kind of like back me and like push me through the energy. So that could be something that's happening for you. Like, I'm trying to talk about like your reputation, but it feels like, just to start this reading, like, I'm kind of maybe even meant to like reaffirm where you might be personally in your life. Like, I think everybody who probably like is attracted to this reading will probably fall into that sultry saint energy, at least a little bit, because we all are like seeming like we are attractive because of the internal work that we've been doing on ourselves. Like, because of our internal focus, and that ourselves being the kind of the center of our world, we now have things to give. Like, we can push out stuff. It's kind of like making me think of like the planet Jupiter. It's like a gaseous planet. It makes me think of like, you know, heat rises. So like, if the heat is coming from the core, which is you, then at this point we're seeing like, what is it, convection currents, where like the heat is coming out, and then as it cools down it comes back into you, so that you can heat it back up again, and then it can go back out, and then it comes back to you, and then you can heat it back up again. So it's like you might have some kind of like, I'm thinking of even combustion, like some kind of system that you've like really locked into. This could be at the gym, like a routine. Like, it seems like you're just like becoming that smooth running machine. Yeah, cool. Okay, so what medicine are you offering? We have better than you can imagine. This is number 39. Attic? Yeah, not quite attic. There is an attic with like insulation all around it, the pink clouds and shit. But this is the only room on the second story. So, yeah. It's hot as shit up here though. Like, as soon as I leave my room, it immediately gets cooler. So like, I literally, oh my god, and then a red Durango comes into the neighborhood, and I drive a Durango here. It's my dad's car, but I always say it's hot as hell in here, and it literally is. Like, it's literally hot as hell. And then when I'm not here, like, when I don't occupy my space, like my room in this house, like, my dad has told me that he has like worse dreams, like he has a difficult time sleeping and stuff like that. Like, I am like my black cat is for me. Like, I have a black cat, but I am the black cat of this house. Like, I absorb the negative energy. I carry the energetic and like emotional burden. Like, if there's a conflict and then somebody kind of needs to like take the knee, like, I'm the guy who takes the knee. Like, no matter what I do about it, like, I'm the one who has to like. And that's why I kind of feel like I have like this Jesus aura about me, because it's like a lot of times in life when somebody needs to get kicked and nobody else wants to be kicked, I'm the one who gets kicked. And that could be like the saint energy. Like, people could have seen you like go through stuff, right? Like, better than you imagine. It's literally like a baby like growing on here. So that's like the energy of like maybe people seeing you in like less attractive phases, right? Like, but it seems like all that stuff next to the traumatized makes you seem more attractive. Like, the fact that you can be like, you can look like shit one day and then like not look like shit the next day, or the fact that you have the ability to like go through that combustion process and make something out of nothing, like, that's something that people around you are looking at as a strength. And then we have to focus on the bigger picture. Like, if you can carry the burden, like I mentioned, like, I'm the one who drives the Durango, right? Like, it's a bigger truck. When my little brother tried to drive it, he ended up doing some like external damage to it. Not that like he's not a good driver or anything like that, but it's a heavier vehicle. So like, when I drive it, even, I have to like keep in mind that this is not something that I can stop easily. Like, once this vehicle is kind of set in motion, especially if it's going fast, I need to allow for space between me and the car ahead of me so I can stop this bitch. Because it's just not going to stop just because I pressed it. Because like, I first started driving a Chevy Volt. Like, that was my first car. Not like ever, but like that was the first one I drove long term. My first ever car, I think, was a HYDE Elantra. but it had like shitty brakes. And like one time I literally was driving that car and the brakes like stopped working while I was driving it, and I was like pulling up to a stop sign, and then like the car just didn't stop, but then another car was coming, so I had to just do like this quick little maneuver, and I evaded. I feel like such a fucking god whenever I do like cool car maneuvers. But but yeah, it's not even like really super important. Basically, I can operate heavy machinery now, and like I understand how to operate it in a way that makes me the one who's lended the trust to operate the heavy machinery. So yeah, that's a thing here. I feel like that might tie in, we might come back to that energy a little bit more in pound number 3, which is called cold-blooded, because I feel like part of the reason why I have the ability to like analyze and assess is because of like what's made me non-emotion, like emotionless kind of in certain ways. But yeah, focus on the bigger picture next to the homebody. So it could be like just how still you are, just how like non-concerned you are for like being active, being on the scene, being in the world, that allows you to have the perspective that gives you the ability to maybe even communicate your perspective, or just like kind of hover above what seems like normal, like everyday stuff. Like you have queen bee aura, even if you're a man and then you're like the eagle, the hawk, you know? You're the guy who's in the know. So there could be some kind of like, I'm getting like this police energy now. Like you could be the kind of person who's good at investigating things. Like you have the eye. Lots of eyeballs on these cards. Like there's one up there about the dragon, and then we have like this one that's looking at the bird, and there's the lighthouse energy. So it feels like people are trusting you, and I have the only room on the top, so I have the highest perspective in this house, just physically. People are trusting you and naturally putting you into positions where you are above. Like you are, and then in that you're being like protected from everything that's below. And it feels like with this energy there's a lot kind of going on below, but with the angel of night being your significator for this pile, it feels like you're gaining a lot from what you're witnessing but not a part of. Like there's stuff happening around you that you're not directly attached to, maybe indirectly attached to, that you're getting the opportunity to kind of spectate. And then you even become maybe more wise from what you're learning from the shadows. Like, from whatever lofty position you might be able to rest in. Okay, what other medicine are you offering? We have Scarlet, Elf Cup, Vibrant, Cheerful, and Enchantment. This is like, I meant for this to be like the darker energy. Like some of the medicine that you have to offer might not be perceived as like nice, and so I use this mushroom oracle because it has a sister deck and it's like the seashell oracle, and I felt like the contrast would be cool. So it seems though like, you know, this is positive. Vibrant, cheerful, enchantment. So the way that I'm interpreting that as a negative is like Sultry Saint, like you are so content or so like at peace with what your life is and how it goes. It could be offensive to other people. Because they could be like, you know, how is it that you're so fucking like traumatized? How is it you're so enmeshed in darkness and still happy? People could be like really pissed off with the way that like maybe they even try to inconvenience you, and you just seem to be able to brush off whatever they're throwing at you. Or it could be that you're inspiring people with your way, like the way that you do maneuver through the darkness, the way that you do overcome obstacles, the way that you are capable of seeing like the silver lining of even the most like uncomfortable truths. And then we have the Queen Conch, so more queen energy. It says divinity, resonance, and communication. So I do feel like you're like sharing something of your perspective with people right now. And that's like part of the saint aspect of it, because I feel like this could be like the Jesus pile, you know, like you guys are like beautiful mentors or like beautiful leaders. Like people want to look at you anyways, people want to keep up with you and what you're doing. It's coming out underneath this card, the homebody. You could be a mother. There could be like literally someone in your family who looks up to you and wants to be like you. Like my little brother got locks after I got locks. I ended up locking my other little brother's hair. So like I started his locks. So like there could be, like you could have initiated someone on a path in their life. Like you could have shown them the way, like the Mandalorian if you're a man and not a woman. It's still like this nurturing, protective energy. It's like, I'm choosing to take you under me, and you can trust me to get you to where you need to be, kind of a thing. Took my little brother to the airport like a week or two ago. That kind of a thing. You're trusted to be a pillar of your community, and you also just look good. Like, yes, You're a pillar of the community and you look good at the same time. So congratulations. Okay, so how does your community feel about you? I'm going to use the Tarot of Oppositions. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. You could sometimes be a little bit bitchy. People could not always understand why you make the choices that you make for yourself because they're not you, number one, but also number two, they have like maybe no idea like what it means for you to be you. Because although you seem to be communicative, it could be that you're focused on the things that you want to share, and that doesn't mean that you're sharing everything. This is pink energy, it's third eye chakra, so like the way that you see life is kind of unique to you and based a lot in your own personal experiences. We have the Five of Wands. People like to like brush up against you though. They feel like, you know, if you have some kind of like pixie dust, it's gonna like rub off on them. And they're gonna be able to gain from their interactions with you. This could, if it's not pixie dust, it could be like this social energy. Or like you could be like alpha or like elite, you know? Like I'm thinking of like shades, like sunglasses, like when you go out on the town, you know, like people automatically respect your swag. Maybe it's because of how you dress like that. Like you're just an attractive person. People want to like be your friend or like, you know, be one of those people that you recognize or like that you would come up to on your own and like dap up kind of a thing. Like they want to be in the crew. They want to be in your crew. Because like even though you're dark, you're like happy. People like that energy about you. Angel of Night, like you're like half evil maybe, like you're good and you're bad, and people like the way that you carry your energy, like the way that you carry that contrast is attractive to people because it makes you seem more real to them. Like I don't really get an extremist energy off of you. I feel like you're the kind of person who knows like where and how you're fucked up, you know, like if you are fucked up, if you do have flaws, you know, people expect that you already know that you have that flaw, so you're not gonna deal with people in the world who like are eager to correct you, like not from your community at least. Because I think your community has a lot of respect for you. Like if you carry this sword, you know, like if you're like guts, like, you know, Band of the Hawk kind of a thing. Like people, like your team knows that you're MVP kind of a thing. Like they know. Like you don't even have to really say it. Even if you wanted to, they probably agree with you. Like, yeah. And then some people in your community maybe even like wanna, if not like they're not inspired by you, they probably want to compete with you because they know that competing with you will make them stronger. Like I wanted to fight, and I was telling my dad the other day, I was like, dude, I want to fight, and like I have nobody to fight because like I'm like kind of like OP in my like feminine figure. Like there's not a lot of true peership for me and my stature. And then he was like, fight your brother. Oh, dude, thanks for joining my membership. Yeah, I have a membership committee over here. Just FYI, just like breaking in this reading real quick. I have a little membership going on. You guys can get like a coupon for like I think it's 11% off like everything forever. And then also I put like other sneaky little video diaries over there of me like going crazy sometimes. So if you want to like hear me go crazy, see my dark aspect, there's like a way you can see that. Okay, but anyway, back to the reading. I talk so fast. Strength in reverse. So you're like the lone wolf here. Like Sultry Saint, there could even be like some kind of like monk energy in your energy. Like energy in your energy. But whatever. You have a darkness about you. And taming that darkness, part of that could mean being alone. I think you understand, and people around you in your community understand, that you're dealing with stuff that like not a lot of people are. Like most people in this group don't have to deal with the things that you deal with. Like for example, there was a phase where like I was kind of like experiencing persecution for like my religious beliefs, my racial existence, you know, all that stuff when I was in the desert. And then when I was talking about it and like showing like my gang stalkers and people like waiting outside my house to see if I like got inside my house and like showing people like the pictures of the cops who were like outside my house all the time, people were like, geez, bro. And I was like, yeah, bro. But like if I didn't actually show people that, like they would have no idea because I don't necessarily maybe look like the kind of person like, you know, that has those problems. So and the trash man came. It makes me think of the Garbage Man. It's a song by the Cramps. it's bad music for bad people. Like, you're in a category here that really differentiates you from, like, most people. I want to say if you're not, like, 1%, you're at least, like, 10-15% of, like, all the billions of people that exist. Either, like globally or, like, in your community, you're, like, up there, like, 90 percentile. Like, and this could be academically, right? So that's more than energy. People, like, wanting to connect with you in your energy because there's, like, this understanding that I can gain something from being around that. Because even if it's, like, I'll only gain adversity, there are those people that know that with adversity comes blessing, like, and tantamount. And those people will want to, like, go through the hard stuff with you because they want to gain from that hard stuff with you. King of Cups. I don't know that everyone's, like, as capable of doing or being who you are, though. Like, you might attract, like... Oh, shit. I was reading this the wrong way. This is actually supposed to be how are you triggering people. But whatever. I can read it twice. Like, I think you might even still attract people that, like, can't hang. And then they might feel, like, away when they can't hang around you. Because I kind of just tie into, like, how you're triggering people. Because I feel like you have, like, this standard. Like, you have this way of being that's natural to you and necessary for you. People respect it because obviously it's paying off for you. Like, this reminds me of when I go to the gym, because I like to run. Like, I ran track. Like, I was the anchor of my relay team in middle school. And I might be like, oh, middle school, but, like, I was good. Like, I was, like, naturally good. And I actually had a dream, I had a dream that in a past life I was a cheetah named Tara. Like, I will always tell this story because it was literally the coolest thing ever. But, like, I was a cheetah, bro, and I was literally running, and I remember how it felt to run fast as a cheetah, because, like, it's, like, not like anything I could really experience as a human. Like, it was, like, a full body, and I mentioned that mechanical process, right? Like, it was a full body thing instead of just my legs, like, just what's underneath me moving. It was, like, everything in my body was, like, helping me get fast. Like, it's hard to explain because I'm not a cheetah, like, as I am right now. But I was a cheetah at one point. I know I was. But anyways, I ran track in middle school. I was really fast. I'm still pretty fast now, even though I'm not, like, in the habit of running that often. But, like, I went to the gym for the first time in, like, 2 years, like, a couple months ago, and, like, completely, like, surpassed my own expectations. But then, like, even people who were on the treadmills next to me were, like, looking over on my screen to, like, see how fast I was going, and I could, like, peek them, like, hating on me. And it was, like, this little moment where I was like, yeah, I'm that guy. Like, you guys are running, like, or, like, walking just to, like, you know, get your heart moving. And I'm over here, like, my top speed, I think, is, like, 11 miles per hour. Or it was, like, a couple years ago. So, like, I'm, like, a real runner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really run. Like, I really run. So, like, I don't know, like, what that is here for you. Like, what your thing is. Like, what you do that you do, like, really fucking well. Like, I have a friend who produces beats. And, like, I can tell when I listen to his music, like, what he makes, that he is, like, building layers on layers on layers of sound, and he's really thinking about things, and, like, it makes sense to me as someone who likes to, like, make music, or, like, at least vocalize on music, because I know exactly when to come in, or, like, when to go out, or, like, when to let the beat kind of, like, breathe a little bit. So it could even be, like, an energy of, like, you know, people around you are understanding how to interact with you or how to collaborate with you because they understand your level of ability as well. It's like you're attractive not because you're you, but also because you're that much of you. Like, you're that good. Like, maybe there's, like, a couple people who run, right, in the gym, but, like, you're the runner. Like, you're the runner. You know? Like, that's what you're known for. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna move these around a little bit because I want to kind of have some symmetry here. It's what I like. And then I'm going to use these cards. This is the Seven of Swords in reverse. King of Wands. And then, yeah, that part that I was talking about before was supposed to be how you're triggering people, but I accidentally said, how does your community feel? So I read it, like, kind of backwards, but that's fine. Those two cards right there were how your community feels. It's just going to, like, kind of add some stuff. And then these are how your enemy feels. So we have the Queen of Pentacles and then the Ten of Swords. So I'll talk about the enemies first real quick, just to contrast that energy a little bit more, so it makes it, like, kind of flow better. Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. So you're resting in your position of authority. You can't be moved. Queen of Pentacles is like sedentary. It's like the wife. It's like the spouse. There's some kind of like agreement. You're rock solid in there. I can't pull you out even if I wanted to. And also, you're necessary to the structure. Like, even if I could pull you out or I did pull you out, everything would kind of like fall apart if you weren't there. So that's frustrating for them because they're kind of like hitting, your enemies are hitting like a dead end right now. They're like, there's literally nothing I can do about this. Even if I try to like move this immovable object, I'm just going to be seen as the person who's like sweating my ass off or like busting my balls to try to get this like boulder out of the position that it's resting in naturally. So it's like people look bad when they try to like become disloyal to you. People look bad when they try to like trigger you out of your natural peaceful state. Because you could be a person who does like have that darkness, right? People know that about you, that you can wield that, like you have that sword. But that doesn't mean you're just like swinging it around just to do it, right? So people who want you to swing your sword at them, end up looking stupid because they're probably just like it reminds me of what's that show, Vinland Saga, when Thorfinn is like trying to attack Askeladd before he really becomes like the young adult version of him, like when he's a kid and like all it takes to defeat him is like a kick. It's that kind of energy. Like you're the Askeladd and they're the little toddler, that like 6-year-old that wants to like fight a grown man. It's like, dude, like get the fuck out of here kind of thing. So like people are trying to avoid that public image, but they still don't like you, so they might try to come towards you in some kind of like sneaky way. But even when they do that, they still end up getting bit. Like, God himself will not allow you. Like, God, as the voyeur and spectator of the situation, is not going to allow, like, people to come at you in a way that you can't defend yourself from. So he'll get in the way, he'll intervene, or he'll make things known or obvious. So, your community, once again, sees you as a leader, King of Wands, Seven of Swords in reverse. They want to know more about how you got to be so good because they want to be like you. Like, you're with that saint energy. You're meant to be a leader. So don't let this, like, gas you up disproportionately. Like, don't let, like, your swag make you, like, elitist, if you can help that, you know, moderate yourself, basically, because I feel like there's a value where you could find even promotion in being the guy who's willing to teach other people how to get to that level. Because I think if you can like prove even to your leadership, whether that's God or like this actual person who's your boss, that you're the kind of person who's willing and able to like communicate and lend strength, you'll be promoted for that reason. Like people will want to put you in a position to lend strength, kind of a thing. Okay, so that's pile number 1. I hope you guys like that. I'm gonna drink some of my drink. And now we're gonna do pile number 2. Yay! Please like and subscribe to my channel. I haven't been saying that, and every single time I finish a recording, I'm like, dude, I should have like advertised myself, but like I don't know why it feels like the most bitch thing to do to be like, hey, follow me. Like, it feels like the most bitch thing ever. Maybe some of you guys need to like kind of get over your own like whatever stigma there might be about promoting yourself and being seen as like, you know, what you're doing, like who you are, kind of a thing. Okay, pile number 2 is Megamind. So we have the Angel of Visions. It looks like this. So what's making you stand out? We have the Manifestor, number 14. Affirmation. I am manifesting what I see in my mind's eye. Lots of seeing. Angel of Visions, the Manifest. So it's like, you know, there could be some like actual specific gift that you have in the realm of sight. Like if it's not like clairvoyance, like I mentioned I had a dream about my past life. It could be the kind of thing where like you've broken out of the matrix and so you have this code. And you have this way of interpreting the universe. So like I was telling my dad about this the other day. I was like, when I see blue cars when I'm driving, it's Archangel Michael, and he's protecting me, like, on the road. Like, it's the universe's way of telling me that I'm being protected in that time, in that space. Like, it's just a reminder that, like, I'm safe. Red trucks, I always, like, count those when I go on hikes to the gas station. And I don't really know exactly what they mean for me, but I know the color red for me is, like, an ancestral color. Like, I like to have red around. It's like my power color. I have this red dinosaur, Squishmallow. So you could have some, like, cute but like ferocious energy like in this file. Like in the movie Megamind, like he's blue but like and like alien, but he's still kind of like cool. Like I don't know. You might have some like Jekyll and Hyde energy going on because I'm literally a Hyde, but there could be some contrast to your energy where you exist in between a space. Like I mentioned in the Matrix, so it's like you're still a human being living and walking through this plane, but you have access to something that's like deeper because of like how smart you are. Maybe we have the Uniter, number 19 affirmation. I know that love has come to unite me with my beloved. Interesting. Some of you guys might have some kind of like telepathic connection to a person that you love, and that's a part of your like Megamind swag, and that makes me think of like a teamwork partnership, like Bonnie and Clyde kind of a thing. It doesn't have to be that you guys are like evil or anything. It could just be like, you know, you're complementary to this person, and if it's not like a lover, it could be like a duo that you're known for. It could be like your best friend, you know, like great minds think alike. That could also be what this is. It doesn't have to be like, you know, love at all. It could just be like you have such a mind that you can connect with other minds that are also significant, and you can bring those minds together. And that is what I think makes you really stand out, because you're a leader of minds. Like you're the mind of the minds. Like, you know, of Elon Musk's and his like Doge team. Like it's Elon Musk's team, but like everybody on that team is like a genius. Like one of those guys, his name is Luke, which makes me think of Jesus again. He ended up like translating some like ancient text to English. Like this dude like literally like the same way that I had like a dream about who I was in a past life. Like that guy literally decoded a dialect that is like unknown. Like how do you even do that? I don't like if somebody like put some like ancient text in front of me and was like translate this, I don't even know how I would begin to do that, right? So there's some kind of like predisposition that you might have for a certain kind of thing, and then you're united with other people who have that same predisposition, or you're like naturally calling people in right now. And then like I was also thinking like, you know, I was thinking about how I've never used like ChatGPT. Like I've never used like I don't really use AI outside of like when I Google something and then the AI just like gives me the answer kind of a thing. But like I kind of feel like sometimes I'm AI. Like what I do in this line of work is like intuitive interpretation of what the needs are of the person that is coming to me for help. And that sometimes makes me feel like I'm some kind of like computer brain. And I'm an INTJ, so you could have some kind of like introverted intuition here that's really making you stand out as powerful, because you can like independently interpret what is with a level of accuracy that makes people like really like have to step back and be like, wow, like that's impressive. I do feel like there could, for some of you guys, be like a relationship that's important here. Like you could be sticking out to someone who has a crush on you because of how your mind works, how it's similar to theirs. Like I'm seeing the swan on the card, and it's making me think like, you know, somebody's identified you as someone they might mate with for life, kind of a thing. And a lot of that's because of like how you think, or what you can do with how you think. Okay, so what medicine are you offering? Action leads to success. We have seahorses. Oh, no. Those are dragons. I thought they were seahorses. They kind of looked a little bit like seahorses. You could have like the power to make someone who's like rough on the edges turn soft. Now I'm thinking of Megamind again, like the actual movie, and he has like this like fish pet thing. He gave like a robot body. So either you could be the fish pet that was gifted the robot body because you're needed as a companion, or you're the person who's attracting the fish-like things to put into robot bodies. Like, either you're the center and you're the core, you're the Megamind, and so you need help still because you're just one person, you can't do everything on yourself, so you're like delegating tasks, and people are like, wow, this is the guy that we respect his mind and we want to do what he tells us to, you know, that could be the thing. Or it's the other thing, and it could be both at different times, where like the Megamind is looking at you and they're like, wow, I respect how you think, I could actually trust you to carry out my tasks. Let me give you this machine body so you can do it even better. Like, let me enhance your ability so that we can help each other. We have Let It Go, Barry. Yeah, Sky just mentioned that she's doing her person's resume. So you could be helping people get over their fears of delegation. It's number 17, number 1 and number 17. So it's like a thing was good on its own, and then you add some kind of divine contribution. And when I say divine contribution, I don't mean that what you're doing is good. I think I just mean that it's necessary and sanctioned and righteous. So Megamind needed his fish buddy. So before his parents sent him off, they were like, here's this fish, you're gonna need this, kind of a thing. It just made sense to them that he needed that fish buddy. So he gave him the fish buddy. Yeah. So if this is a romantic relationship, then there could be some kind of dynamic like that where it's I'm good on my own, but when you're around, it feels better. You're the little piece of Jesus that I need. Or it could be that if you're finding this if you're finding resonance with this, you might need to go and outsource something to help you be a Megamind, or an even better Megamind. There could be something missing that you can't quite identify. So you might need to go outside of your comfort zone and take action in some kind of new way. I just completely reorganized my whole room. My bed, where I'm sitting right now, is where my desk used to be. And now as I'm recording these readings, I'm facing towards the wall that had the poster that you used to see in the background. But I think I like this background better. I think it looks better for video. It's not as PC. So it's there's instead of just having two smaller things on the wall, there's a whole tapestry that covers the whole wall. So there could be something about covering yourself better. I am a spiritual person and I have my own spiritual practices and I facilitate those as they are and they function. But I decided recently that I want to start going to church as well. So it's something about maybe filling the gaps here. Understanding where your weaknesses might lie. And that's part of you being a Megamind, is you being able to look at yourself and be I have a weakness here, I have a weakness here. I can outsource this to fill that gap, I can outsource this to fill that gap. And that way I'm remaining a functional operational system with the least risk possible. One of the careers I looked into when I first moved here back to Atlanta is risk management, because I'm really good at that kind of a thing. I can just objectively see a situation and be well, this could happen, and here's how we can get around that. Here's what we could do if that does happen. Here's what we could talk to if that does happen. My dog ran away a while back too, and my brother found out. He was chasing the dog because he was scared, and my dog is a husky, so if you chase him, he's just gonna run faster. His name is literally Josh Allen. So that boy was gone, and I was hauling ass down the street chasing after this dog. I didn't see him. I was just running to go to the spot where he was last seen. So I was the person who got called. And then I was also the person who had to bring that bad news to my dad, because my dad's the one who actually owns the dog. It's his dog. So my brother didn't want to tell him that he lost the dog. So he was he told me, and then I told my dad. So middleman kind of thing. Because you could be the one who knows how to deliver information in the right way so that things don't explode. You know? Part of your Megamind, because not all intelligence is academic intelligence. Some of that is that social soft skills, you understanding how to present yourself and how to communicate and how to level people. Like, be honest but yet not abrasive. I feel like I just heard something. Okay, whatever. The medicine that you're offering, we have lion's mane, opulence, wisdom, and care. Glory of the seas, desire, singularity, and fame. So you're definitely known for being who you are. And you're good at something. Extremely intelligent, extremely capable, dexterous maybe. Lion's mane, and then glory of the sea. It's like, you know, center of attention energy. So like if there is an industry that you are in, you're like top dog of that industry. I mentioned Elon Musk. Like, who do you like? He's like one of the tech gods of the modern era. Me, I'm one of the tarot gods of the modern era. Albert Einstein, electricity king. You're looking like in the eyes and minds of other people as someone who's solidified in your position as one of the greats. And so you should like be positioning yourself and like framing yourself in the world as that thing, because the more you start to do that, the easier it is for other people to recognize you as that thing. Like, one of the things I had to get over in this position is like humility. Like, when I first started to even read tarot, I didn't even do this publicly for like people until like I had done it for 5 years, like unpaid. So I think that's actually part of the reason why you're in this position of like hierarchy, is because you really have like, you know, like you've dug the dirt, like you dug the graves, or like you like you got your hands dirty, or like you put in the work to have a position of authority. Like, you could have had those days where like you didn't have enough money because you were investing into things that were gonna build your craft, or like you didn't like, you skipped meals, or like, you know, you started from the bottom. Like, when I first got my first apartment, I didn't even have a bed in there, and the first like furniture I bought was a desk so that I could keep working. And then like I didn't even, like, when I was applying for the apartment, I didn't even really like make 3 times rent. Like, I had to like appeal to the head broker of the realtor's office to like plead my case that like I was gonna be a good tenant and that they should let me live there. Like, you could have like had to do stuff like just to make it through. I think people respect that, and like that's the medicine that you're offering, is the fact that, like, you know, you're the proof that things can get done, like no matter how unlikely things might seem. And I feel like that's the reason why God's like kind of blessed you with this Megamind, is so that you know how to use it. Like, you know what to do with the resources that you're being blessed with, and that's like awesome. Singularity, like you're like in a league of your own probably when it comes to this thing. Like, you might have your own way about going about this thing, which also lends to like the exclusivity of you and the experience of you. It's like, you know, I can't get this experience from anyone else. Like, this is something that, like, how do I explain that? It's kind of like a car brand. Like, I keep mentioning Elon Musk, right? I'm not trying to like I'm not trying to like glaze Elon Musk unnecessarily. I'm just like thinking about the fact that he's like has, like, you know, Tesla, he has like a Cybertruck. Like, what other fucking car looks like a Cybertruck? Like, you're not gonna go to the car lot and then see something else and be like, oh, I think that's a Cybertruck, and it's not a Cybertruck. Like, it's just like, you know, if either it is or it isn't kind of a thing. You have that kind of like differentiation, eccentricity about yourself that makes you like kind of unmistakable. Like, you're gonna be recognized and you're gonna stand out from everything else that's surrounding you that's not you, because that's part of like your brand here, and you're supposed to be leaning into that with the glory of the seas and the lion's mane. Like, you're supposed to be proving to yourself that as you are, as this eccentric thing, you have value that people are gonna be willing to invest in. And you're also proving to other people who feel different that they can find success in being that different thing. Cool. So, what else? How do you trigger people? 7 of Cups. I just heard face down, ass up in my head. I don't really know why. What the fuck? Knight of Wands. Page of Wands. And then the Seven of Pentacles. So I feel like it's triggering to people who don't feel like they're on the same level as you to be around you. Because they might not even know how to get on that level, or may not even think it's ever possible for them to get on that level, and they can be right about that. Like, some people who are witnessing you are just realizing that you're like, they're never gonna be like you. And they might resist that, right? So you might find people trying to copy you when they feel like they can't do it naturally. Like, I have people, or had people in the past who like made fake accounts of me and just like reposted my stuff. If it's like an Elon Musk technological thing, it could be like making like some kind of like knockoff Cybertruck, I don't know, or like knockoff makeup, you know, or just knockoff stuff. And like, that's like, you know, whatever, but that could be happening. Like, you could be treating people who feel like they can't do it how you do it, or they feel like, you know, like, okay, so in the center we have the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands, which is what I'm really basing this, like, I feel like I'm not like quite on your level kind of a thing. The Knight of Wands is literally riding a horse, which is the main difference between the two of them. It's like one of them is just a communicator, and the other one is like the actual like carrier out of the thing. Makes me think of police again, like a dispatcher versus like the actual cop. People could feel like, you know, you get to do more than them, or like people could feel like they're bored with their lives, like everything is the same, or like they're just drained, and then you are out there like having fun, or like you have more support, you know, like you have a horse, you're not walking around on foot, you know. Like, how do I get a horse? I want a horse. It could be like a girlfriend thing, you know. I don't know. Like, you have support. And if it's not like a person, it could be like a following base. Horses don't stop. We keep going. Yes, God, I didn't expect you to know you look like that. That's cool. And that could be another thing, right? Like, yeah. maybe, unless it's on digits, right? You could have money. You could definitely have money with opulence over here. But even if not that, you know, it's like armor. Whatever the thing is, it protects you in the world. So like, Sky listens to all different kinds of music, obviously. Some of that might lend to her ability to blend in places where she doesn't necessarily feel like she might belong, or might naturally fit in, or communicate like resonance to people that, you know, are a little bit different from her. Because like, Young Thug is like a YN. Like, Sky is like Draculaura from Monster High. So like, you could be a little different. Like, even the thumbnail for this video is like Patrick Bateman. You know, I'm not necessarily, like, you probably wouldn't look at me and be like, oh, Patrick Bateman. But like, low-key, yeah, like on the inside. On the inside, I kind of feel like I could have easily been like a white teenage boy, like, piece of shit. Like, yeah, that's like kind of my internal aura. Could have easily happened. I could have easily been that, like, before. I have like daddy's money, you know, like real shit. I have like angst. So yeah, like, shit, it's possible. But like, you could have something like that, and that could be part of your Megamind. It's like your ability to resonate with people that don't look anything like you because of the content of your character, like your soul. Like, a lot of us here could be like a long time in the making. Like, you're not just you, as you are right now. You're also every person that you've been, like, every vessel that your soul has embodied before. Like, I mentioned that I feel like I used to be a cheetah. It's a fucking animal. So, like, who knows what I, like, learned as a cheetah, you know, other than how to run fast. But, like, that's the XP that I'm taking into, with, coming into this life with, that made me so fast of a runner that I was able to be an anchor of my relay in this life. So I don't know, maybe you want to look into that, or like, because we have angel of visions, or just be aware, or like open to figuring out what you could be like drawing either inspiration or XP from in past lives. Like, who could I have been before I was this person? And how does that affect who I am now? How can I start to like actually success, be versions of myself that I could find strength in? Okay, how does your community see you? 8 of Swords, they don't see you. Knight of Wands, again. On top of this Knight of Wands, it's like, you know, you're on the horse. 7 of Swords for your enemies, how they see you. And the 6 of Pentacles. So you might find that even people who don't like you understand the necessity of having you around, so they don't outright, like, they're not outright attacking you because they still want to gain from you. Or if they realize that attacking you will put them in a bad position, they'll just stop doing it. Because they're like, dude, I don't actually want to lose this person. I just get frustrated when they're different from me. Or perceived as better than me. But they're not really mad at you. They're mad at like how they feel about themselves in that moment. And there could be like a projection of that energy towards you. But I don't feel like people really see you that often, because I feel like you're too busy having visions. This is you over here. Like, you're in the realm of, in your own space, maybe even in the darkness. You could be like a night owl kind of a thing. Or like an introverted personality type. And then you're like maybe even occasionally on a substance, and that substance could be like opening up your mind. Or if you're not on a substance and it's like, you know, you're just in dreamland, you know, like you're, something about how you have been positioned in life allows you free time, alone time, to just like run around in the open fields of life and gain information. And then through that process, you're gaining like divine insight about what to do next, how to put things into action, how to make shit happen. People don't really see you until you are in the action of being awesome. And then when they see you being awesome, they're like, this guy's so awesome! And they get upset about it. Because they don't even know about, like, all the, like, numbers metaphorically that you're crunching behind the scenes. They don't see that shit. They don't see you, like, receiving the guidance that you are then acting on. They have no idea what that's like. Cuteness aggression? Yeah, it's possible. Knight of Wands could be, like, a sexual energy, so... But that's coming from people that, like, are in your community that like you mostly. If they are, like, attracted to you sexually, it's mostly coming from people who, like, you know, are in support of you. See themselves as, like you. People who don't see themselves as like you are the people who you really have the most to worry about, because they're going to be like, how do I stop this guy from getting things done? Like, it's threatening to me how much you can get done. And how easy it seems for you to get that stuff done. Like, God damn it, how do I be like that? How do I get stuff done? I can't get stuff done. Like, it's like the energy for me, like, a lot of people who I meet in real life, I don't even tell them that I have a social media account. Like, I don't want people to know. People who I know in real life, I don't want them to know that I have this going on. Because, like, just hearing that for some people, like, makes them just so, like, jealous. And they have no idea what it's like to actually be in front of, like, thousands of people and have them look at me and send whatever energy they send towards me, right? Like, people will look at me and be like, you're unemployed. Like, you just sit around all day. And it's because I have to deal with literal, like, there is some really nasty, grimy motherfuckers in the world who still want to gain from what I have to say. You know, like, they want to listen to me talk, but then, because it helps them. But then the fact that it's me saying it, or that I look a certain way that day while I'm saying it, or that, you know, it was that helpful and they didn't know it on their own, they needed me to tell them, it just bothers people that they don't know things sometimes. And then I'm the guy who knows the thing. It's like the same thing as, like, you know, if you were a doctor and then, like, you had a client that, you know, you had to diagnose with cancer. And you have to be a doctor, right? You have to tell them, like, hey, you have cancer. But then when you tell them that, they're like, you're wrong, you don't know anything about this. It's like that kind of a thing, you know? Like, sometimes people just like lash out. And I have to deal with that a lot of times from a lot of different people all over the world with all different levels of compatibility with me. Sometimes they have like, you know, I don't want to say they're more powerful than me, because I don't really, you know, think of anybody as having more power than me, really. But like, but like sometimes they're able to affect me just because I don't even know who the fuck they are. You know, like I'm completely blindsided and kind of vulnerable in what I do here and how I lend myself out to people of the world. You know, like I'm never gonna be able to identify every person who watches my content. Like I have to submit here, and then like trust that God's protecting me. You know, so it's like that kind of a thing. People don't even really know what it means for you to be who you are and sit in your position, but then they want to like micromanage you in your position, kind of a thing. So you might deal with that, like just people not even really understanding what it means for you to be you. And if it wasn't like a job thing, it could be like even like a trauma thing, right? Because even in the first part, the traumatized came out, so it's like you could be a person who got the worst shit like the first like 10 years of your life, like you were just like going through it. Like I used to have like the worst nightmares. Like I used to wake up at night screaming because I've always been able to like travel in my sleep. Like I'm going places and like witnessing things that people have done to other people, and like I'm just like, I was a kid and I was super sensitive, and like I could just like travel places, and I had no idea what to even do with my own power when I was growing up. So like it was just crazy. So like now I'm a much more matured little witch and I know what to do with it, but I had to like go through like some of the worst shit known to man, like, and experience that, like, because I'm an empathetic person. I'm not just a witnesser, I'm a feeler, and part of what makes me able to do this work is the fact that I can feel other people's shit, like even shit that I wasn't there to personally experience. Like God will have me go in a dream in the form of the victim of that experience and then feel the heat. So it's like I'm literally like it's not cool, it's not fun to be me sometimes, but like I think I carry it well, and I think you're the kind of person who carries it well. So that's why that energy of like envy can come in, because you don't look like you're suffering even if you are, because you're just used to suffering. Like you're just at this point, like, what is a life without suffering? Like it would be like, what would it even be for you? Probably. Okay, that's problem number 2. And that kind of like perfectly brings us into problem number 3, which is cold-blooded. I'm glad it worked out like that. I need Bev. Drinking from my deep sea mug. My deep sea coffee. Holy diver, you've been gone too long in the midnight sea. Oh, it's becoming over me. Right, tiger. This is the right eye angel of wisdom. Wisdom. I was watching that fashion TikToker Wisdom K, and I'm just speaking of like objective truths, right? So he has like this a little bit like a slur in his speech because it's the way that his mouth is shaped. And then I was thinking, like, he must have like gone through a phase where he was like, because he also mentioned in that video that his brain works faster than his mouth does, and so that's part of the reason why he's talked like that. And I could relate to that because like you guys could see like watching my videos, like I talk really fucking fast. So like imagine if I had any kind of like, I don't want to call his mouth like a weird shaped mouth because I feel like that's mean, but like he has like this particular bite in his teeth that like, you know, whatever. So yeah, like I can't imagine what the struggle is like, and that's probably the reason why I think he probably became a really good fashion dude, is because that's non-verbal communication. Like how you dress yourself, how you like put that shit on, it speaks for you. So like he doesn't make a lot of talking videos, so you probably wouldn't even really know unless you were like watching one of those. But like, yeah, like cold-blooded, you probably like have some kind of adaptation. Like, because when I think of cold-blooded creatures on Earth right now, I'm thinking like reptiles, which have been like really literal dinosaurs, bro. Literal dinosaurs. So you yourself could be like a dinosaur type creature. Like you, like my last name is Hyde, and that's like a legendary ass name. Like it's been around for like forever. Like everybody knows Jekyll and Hyde. So you could like come from something that was like in existence a really long time ago. Like you're like some kind of ancient creature like walking around in the modern age, which is like really cool. Even if it's not like you or your family, it could be that you come from like, you know, some of the like first humans, something like that. Like, or if not like your family, then like your soul is just like really fucking old, like really old. Like you could have some kind of like caveman way of being or something like that. Like you could feel like prehistoric, or you could feel like evil. Like, you know, you could feel reptilian, like in the sense that like you are a heat seeker. So you could recognize, even this is a little bit shadowier, that you need other people to suffer in order for you to come up. And this is where we get a little dark, right? Because I think this is natural, right? This is natural. Like if you resonate with this, like don't feel bad, right? Because there's a natural way about things where like when one thing grows, another thing goes down. Like another thing decomposes. Like that's just like the natural cycles of life. You know what's that? It's the law of thermodynamics, where it's like in heat transfers kind of a thing. Like in order for a reptile to gain heat, it either has to go and like lay in the sun, or it has to eat something that's alive. Like that's how a reptile like kind of lives. Like that's just how they are. Like they're bred for that specific way of being. So like, you know, you may not necessarily just be like pure raw reptile, but you might notice, you know, maybe you have like a dark sense of humor where like you're the kind of person who like, if you see a video of somebody like falling, maybe you like laugh. You know, I'm not really that kind of person, but like you could be that kind of person. Like you could be the you could be the kind of person who derives pleasure from misfortune, or like you recognize how you can gain from misfortune. Like another way I can like explain this is like, you know, like war. I know there's like stuff going on in Palestine right now, like Gaza and all that shit. Like it's being like flattened by like bombs, right? Like that the whole thing happened, right? So like I think Trump was talking about how he wants to like start building shit over there. Like he's like, well, it's all bombed and completely flat. You guys can't live there anymore, so I may as well, with all my money, just go ahead and invest in it and then build on it. Which is like, he's not the first person to ever do that, right? Like, so we could want to be like, oh, Trump is, he's just so cold-blooded. But yeah, like, maybe he just is cold-blooded, and maybe that's just what cold-blooded motherfuckers do. Like, maybe that's just what they do, right? So, like, I feel like, it's just so funny to me, like, you could just be that kind of guy who, like, sees the opportunity in misfortune. And that's part of how you keep your energy flowing. You keep like the machine, big wheels keep on turning kind of thing, you know? So yeah. We have the Lovers, number 7. Affirmation: I attract love, abundance, success, happiness, and fulfillment. We have 3 for this one. We have the Initiator, number 13. Affirmation: I overcome resistance and do what must be done now. And then number 12, the Angel. Affirmation: I have faith in my ability to help myself and others. So yeah, dude. It kind of seems like you might have some kind of higher power that you're working with. And this could be like a spiritual higher power, or it could be like a superior material higher power. Either or, right? I'm not going to discriminate and say you guys ought to be good people doing good things in the world. I just don't really care. And I'm an objective analyzer of things, so whatever. But that could like lead you down a path where you're just doing what must be done. You're just doing what needs to be done. Like you being a cold-blooded thing. I'm getting this like a Terminator vibe off of this. Or you're getting shit done because it's what needs to be done, what was already going to be done anyways. And you're also reaping benefits from what you're doing. And part of that may include the destruction of other things. And if it's not happening directly, it's happening indirectly, and you just being like compliant or complacent with this means that you are a part of it, even if you don't think of yourself as being a part of it. Like, to know something is happening that's not good and not like speak out against it, it kind of makes you like not an innocent bystander, right? So you could even just be associated with people who are a part of a machine, and so you are being seen by some people, because not all of this could be super known, right? Like, right eye wisdom, there might right eye, like, only maybe like half of people will really understand really what's going on. And you seem like you're part of that group, even if indirectly. Like, you could be someone's daughter, someone's son, someone's father or mother, and they could be the one who is the center of the like initiation process. Like, they're the ones who like maybe even open the door for you to become cold-blooded in this way. But either way, if you have this cold-blooded way of being about you, it's because it's necessary to your function, to the way that you are, that you have to be. I was channeling like police energy before, but my dad reminded me that the police are just kind of like urban military. So you could be military, whatever branch, doesn't even really matter. Because when you're like military, you belong to the government. Like, you've essentially like signed over your autonomy for the most part, so that you can be utilized as a greater machine, or by the greater machine. Which kind of means like you have to learn to practice a detachment from your own desires. It's not, you're not doing what you're doing for you or because you want to or because you agree with it. It's because it's what needs to be done. Like the card says, I overcome resistance, even if that's internal, and do what must be done now. So I think in this cold-blooded energy, people could be seeing you and think like, oh, you have no like qualms, like you don't feel bad about this at all. But you could feel bad about it. It's just like it's not important. Like, you could feel like, oh man, this sucks. Like, I know I'm dead wrong. I should be doing this. And then you still do it because it's what needs to be done now. It's what must be done now. And there could be some element of wisdom that comes along with that. Like, you being able to do the things that are hardest to do. I think the idea of submitting to these like organizations is that like, you know, there is someone who is at the top of this who's giving me commands and orders, and they know best. More than I can know from my perspective. So even when it goes against maybe what I think is best or what is good, I have to trust in the higher leadership that I follow. And I don't think there's anybody who really, like, no matter how high up you go, feels like they don't have anybody that they need to like check out for. You know, as in terms of like superior officers or just a boss or like, you know, God, if not any human being. So everyone is kind of having that like look up thing, like, is this the right thing to do? Even if they do, you know, recognize themselves as having a lot of personal power. I feel like that's you. Or the Lovers here is like a balanced energy. In the tarot anyway, it's Gemini energy. So you think a lot about what you do, even if it doesn't seem like that. You can make a hard call in the world, and you're seen as a person who makes hard calls in the world. But you also have this divine protection, the angel. Like, you're also seen as being like rewarded for even the harder calls that you make. Even when that means sacrificing people, things, situations. Like, when you're like throwing it all to the sides. Like, it seems like you're still gaining. People end up respecting your ruthlessness, your ability to just get shit done. Okay, what medicine are you offering? We have opportunity, number 16. Red door. Someone just got back from school. You are what you think, 20. Flamingo. 2 birds here. which are also kind of like reptilian, or like not reptilian, but like dinosaurs. So I think this is gonna be like a pod where like maybe not a lot of people like resonate with this, at least to the extent that I'm like really feeling it. Because like even a bee on this card, it's like I belong to the hive kind of thing. But there's opportunities in the hive that I feel like you get access to. Like, dude, he's kind of like doing a little bit of a salute here, is he not? He's kind of saluting a little bit. So like your allegiances, whatever they may be, provide opportunity for gain. But they also make you complicit in the destruction of other. Because in order to gain, we must be absorbing something. Like that's the only way. Like if I'm getting $50, somebody's losing $50. That doesn't mean that like that's an overall loss, right? Because if I'm giving them something in return that's like worth $50, you know, like whatever, they're, you know, whatever. But like it's that energy of like if I'm getting it, you're losing it. So you could be like some kind of creature here, bro, who like is what they eat. Like, you know, flamingo are pink because they eat shrimp. Like you're a reaper. Oh jeez. Cool. Okay, what else? We have the elder. Dude, I literally said you're like old as shit. Like your soul is like old as fuck. It's dinosaur shit. Heat seeker shit. Wisdom again, experience and gentleness. And then scallop, sight, and wayfinding. Journeys. So this feels like the max prestige pile, honestly. And that's part of the reason why you're so cold-blooded, is because you've lived enough, either in this life or in past lives, to know that there's not a point in resisting how things are. So you may have just aligned with power here. Like you figured out where the source of power is, and now you're aligned with it. Now you have opportunities to play a role in a group that's aligned with power, and you're exercising your wisdom and your experience to find opportunistic outcomes. How do you trigger people? You have the devil upright, like in the not so negative or not as negative position, but the negative position is still there. It's just at the bottom. So like you could have at one point in your life but like, man, I'm at the bottom of this shit. Like, you know, like no matter what I do, like I mentioned how I was being persecuted before, right? Not that I'm like, you know, whatever. But it was way worse before. It was way worse before. But like, you know what I'm saying? You could have like seen the light here. Which could have been like this energy of like, I'm just gonna like not resist this. Because the more I resist this, the more like I get whipped. And it reminds me of slavery. Like, you know, when African slaves were brought here, a lot of us were like, first of all, some of us literally killed ourselves like on the way over here. Because we were like, bro, what the fuck is going on? But like, I'm sorry. This is not funny. This is not funny. But like, that really happened. People were like jumping off of the boats. People were like killing themselves. Like, a lot of us knew as soon as we got off the coast, like, it was nothing good for us. Like, we were not going to any like promised land. Like, it was nothing good. So like, that happened, and then when we got here, we got like, you know, treated the worst ways. We got bred like livestock. We got, you know, shackled, chained, separated from our families. Like, all different kinds of terrible things happened to us. And then in that process, there became like the creation of an entirely new thing that exists nowhere else. Like, the American black person doesn't exist anywhere else but in America. Like, seriously, you're not gonna go to Africa and then find an American black person just like naturally like born there. Like, that doesn't happen. Like, who we are, us American black people, exclusive to this continent. So now, as an American black, you can figure out like, hey, like, in our Constitution, bro, I'm only 3/5 of a fucking person. Like, that's like, they decided when they founded the country that they didn't really respect us. So like, I can either like resist that forever, or I can understand that and use that to my advantage, right? So there's like, even in the system, like even there is strength like even in weakness, right? So if you're like smart enough to figure out how to like play your cards, you can put yourself in positions to be a necessary component to systems. Like you literally can. Like, that's kind of like the whole thing of my family and what we do. Like, we become necessary. So, and in that way, we are never replaced and we're never moved from our positions of permanence. So it could be that kind of a thing where like instead of feeling bound and trapped and like you're suffering and like you're oppressed, you could become necessary. On my mom's side, I have a lot of I have Army members, veterans, and I have Marine members and veterans. Um, you might literally decide that you're gonna become necessary and then gain from the system, because that's just kind of like, I don't say your role, but like that's like the opportunity that's there for you. We have death, also not in its worst position. And that kind of makes you cold-blooded, right? Because you know, like, this shit isn't really for me, but I'm gonna make this shit go. Like, like, it's, and I'm only making it go understanding that there are people who are in worse positions. Like, that's the only way I could make it go, is by acknowledging everyone I'm kind of stepping over in order to make it go. So then we have the Three of Wands in reverse. And then the Seven of Wands. It's like you're fighting. Like, your life becomes a fight. It becomes like real life berserk. You're just struggling. Because for as long as like a system exists here, maybe you will be disadvantaged in some way. Just because of the way that system works. But like, you can't change that system. That system's been in, like, if it's not you that's ancient and old and dinosaur-like, it's the system itself that's ancient, old, and dinosaur-like. Like, it's just prehistoric. Like, nothing at this point could be done to really change it, or like change its direction or its trajectory. Your only hope is to just kind of like hop on it and let it carry you to where you want to be. I feel like that's how you think and that's how you operate through the world. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you have some kind of like alliances here with like material earthly power that maybe even like burden you. It's like, damn, I have to do this, or like, I know this is happening to other people while I'm benefiting. Like, while I'm like eating, this is happening to them. But the thing is about you is that I don't think you're so, like, some people cope by becoming, how do I say this? Like, people who know that they're at the top of the system might fall into the habit of thinking they're better than anybody else just because they happen to be positioned in this way. I don't think you're that guy. I think you're the guy who's like, it is only by the grace of God that I have this position. I could easily be at the bottom of the wheel, getting crushed by the wheel right now. But I'm not, for whatever reason that I don't even understand. So thank God that I'm not at the bottom of the wheel. But I think some people who are at the top of the wheel could just be like lost in the sauce a little bit about the reality. Like, they don't have the wisdom that you have in your dominance. Which means that they don't have this angel of protection. Like, there's an extra card. Like, I only pulled 2 of these for the other 2 piles, and then this third one, the angel, came out for this pile. It's like, you have more. Like, some people are just like, burning shit up. No protection. But you have protection, And I think people who are like just burning shit up are like those I'm on the highway to hell kind of people. And then they'll find like when their soul gets recycled, they'll probably end up at the bottom of the wheel. Because they haven't like they're not gaining positive XP. They're gaining negative XP. Because they maybe even enjoy the crushing of the bones under the wheel. They're like lost in the sauce. There's like it's like wisdom and moderation that you're capable of having here, which could make you come off as cold-blooded, right? Because you could be at the point now where you're like, I just don't feel, like I just witness. Like my dad's side is Jehovah's Witness. Like we're just seers. So like I could see some terrible shit, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm here to see it. I'm here to see it. But I'm not like, oh, you deserve it because you're that thing and I'm this thing. You know, that's the difference. It's just like, you know. So I would encourage people who feel like they resonate with this, like, to like be aware of themselves. Like, what kind of person am I at the top of this system? Because I have the ability to like maneuver myself into a way that I can reap benefits, knowing that people are like being disadvantaged. How do I like maybe even give back to those people who I am disadvantaging? Like, how can I right my wrongs? Something that I should know. Okay, anyways. How does your community see you? We have the Fountain in reverse. Ace of Pentacles. How do your enemies see you? King of Pentacles. And the Six of Wands. So, people who see you at the top are kind of mad that you're at the top. You might deal with that. They're like, dude, this guy has stuff we don't have. I'm hesitant to say this right after saying at the top, but I deal with this sometimes in my own community of like black people, because I was born very fair-skinned, and there are some people who are born very dark-skinned, and then there's that colorism thing that's happening, because that's natural to like European indoctrination in the mind of how beauty should exist. So it's like European people were like, we're the best because we're super recessive, and we're gonna like tell everybody that we have to be the best, because if we're not the best and super selective, we'll end up going extinct because we're just recessive as fuck. So we're gonna have to get ahead of this, make sure we still exist in like 200 years. And they start going crazy. So now we have this system of thought that's like pretty natural to a lot of us here in the modern world of like, if you have fairer skinned, you're a little bit more attractive. You're like, you know, the darker you are, usually the worse it gets for you. So I experienced that like colorism thing with people like in my own community. So that could be a thing that like makes sense to you, like how this is happening. It could be that you're like a white guy, and that there are people around you who just like naturally like make white guy jokes at you, because everybody understands that if you're a white guy, you're kind of like coming into the world with like access and abilities and things that just, you know, most people don't have, like just off rip, just because you're white, kind of a thing. So, you know, that kind of a thing is what I'm picking up on from your enemies. It's like, you're King of Pentacles, you have stuff, you have something that you're coming into this world with, some kind of position of power or status that I just don't have. Like, I just don't have that shit. And you're up there and I'm down here, kind of a thing. And it just sucks. Can't really change it. Just annoyed by the fact that you have it. And then your community is like, yeah, you're one of us. You have the potential. You're gonna go far. Yes. It's fucked up, man. But you know, this cold-blooded energy is just, it's cold-blooded. It's like either you're a reptile or you're not a reptile, kind of a thing. Like either you're built for it or you're not built for it. Either you're predisposed or you're not predisposed. And if you're not predisposed, the gap is something that you probably will really struggle to like close. It could take you like 20 years to figure out what's actually going on in the world. But if you come into a world where you already know what's going on in the world, then, you know, awesome for you. It's like the same thing, like, you know, sometimes with education. It's like, back in the older days, it used to be really hard to learn things. Like, knowledge was super gatekept. Like, you couldn't even, like, get into college if you weren't a certain way, or if you weren't a certain gender. You know, it's just, like, because gender could also be a thing here. Like, you know, you could be a guy, and there could be, like, girls who are like, I wish I was a guy, kind of a thing. Or, like, vice versa, you know? It's just, whatever you have that you are, that is desirable in the mind of these people, they kind of like feel a way about the fact that you are that way, at least on some level, because it gives you different levels of access that they don't have. and that they want, or feel like they would benefit from. So, yeah. But I was mentioning before, like, strength and weakness, right? Because, like, the American black person is, like, the most hated fucking group of people, like, ever. But, like, we are, like, the center of pop culture. Like, we are inspirational to, like, everybody. Like, and part of the reason why we were made to be slaves here is because we had, like, fucking, like, we're built like gods. Like, literally, naturally. Like, I don't have to do shit. I have abs every day. I could eat a whole fucking pizza in one sitting and still have abs. I'm just naturally built for excellence because that's what my genetics are. Like, what can I do about that? You know what I'm saying? I'm tall as shit, and I got the lean, mean machine. But also, people want to call me the freaking N-word, like, all the time. Like, this, and it used to really piss me off, right? Like, it really did. Like, it really did. And I think part of the reason why is because I'm, like, I have little Nigerian ancestry. So, like, the N-word is, like, they, like, specifically targets me. Like, just really specifically. Like, I could be any kind of, like, African descendant, right? But I'm Nigerian. So, like, you're kind of really pissing me off right now. And I will exercise spiritual dominance over you if you do that. But, like, you know, nowadays, I'm like, okay, whatever. You just want to see me sweat. And now I'm, like, more chill about it. I'm like, you know, you're just an asshole. And I'll let you have that. And then I'll go to the graveyard and light a candle for you. But, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm chill about it now. But I definitely know how to get my, like, I know how to level that playing field for myself. Like, in the situation where somebody might call me, like, a racial slur, like, if I argue with them, they win. Because they're just feeding and harvesting off of, like, my anger. But if I go... Fire engine. As I speak. Hell yeah. But if I go to the graveyard, it's literally heading in the direction of the graveyard too. But if I go to the graveyard and I'm like, hey, guys, somebody's being mean to me and I'm free, my boys will come after you. Like, I promise you they will. I've seen it happen, like, in real life. So, yeah. All right. Thank you for watching this.